The critical role of the port in national economy and social development derives from its significance as the cheapest model of moving large cargoes from one point to another. This is Nigerian port today. I am glad you are part of us as we shall continue with our operational activities in our port.
Hello and welcome to the news this bit. My name is Nsebong Mbebeng. The executives of the Africa Association of Professional Freight Forwarders and Logistics of Nigeria, AFLAN, paid a working visit to the management of the Nigeria Ports Authority at its corporate headquarters in Marina, Lagos. The Managing Director, Nigerian Ports Authority, Hadiza Bala Usman, represented by Executive Director, Marine and Operations, Dr. Shokante Hilton Davis, along with AFLAN members, discussed the better enabling environment to foster efficient service deliveries at the nation's seaports. AFLAN President Frank Oguejemite, who led his members to the occasion, applauded the visionary leadership of Nigeria Ports Authority Managing Director Hadiza Bala Usman, who has succeeded in making the Nigerian Ports Authority brand the leading port in Africa. The Managing Director, Nigerian Ports Authority, Hadiza Bala Usman, attended the 2019 Women in Successful Careers WISCA Annual Leadership and Mentoring Conference in Lagos. The conference was to encourage and promote women in the corporate world and also empower the younger generation to see the need to maintain the vision of gender equality in the business circles, a sustainable development goal of the United Nations. Also in attendance were the United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed, the Minister of Women Affairs Pauline Talen, and representative of the Governor of Lagos State, Commissioner for Establishment, Training and Pension, Jibola Ponle. Now the management of the Nigerian Ports Authority has recorded yet another landmark achievement as the authority recently signed a memorandum of understanding with the Port of Antwerp, Belgium, at the corporate headquarters of the authority, Marina, Lagos. The Memorandum of Understanding is geared towards greater operational efficiency. The Managing Director, Nigerian Ports Authority, Hadiza Bala Usman, was represented at the occasion by the authority's Executive Director, Marine and Operations, Dr. Shokante Hilton Davis. The Port of Antwerp International APEC delegates were led by the CEO, Christophe Watershoot, Ambassador of Belgium to Nigeria, Daniel Dargent. Also in attendance were the Chairman, NPA Board of Directors, Emmanuel Olajide Adeshoye, the President, Nigeria-Belgium Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Timi Austin Peters, as well as top management of the NPA. Do enjoy the rest of the program with Scott.
Welcome back. And don't forget that Nigerian Port Authority, we are committed to operational efficiency and customer-friendly service. Let's continue our sail as we berth our vessel at Tincan Island Port. TCIP, as it's fondly called, was built in the 1970s in response to an increase in economic activities during the oil boom. The port manager, Mr. Abubakar G. Umar, walked us through the latest happenings and his plans and vision to better the port, and the terminal operators weren't left behind in the interview.
The history of port development in Nigeria dates back to the mid-19th century, long after the onset of seaborne trade that followed the early coastal exploration. The federal government of Nigeria initiated a drive to improve efficiency with its port reforms programs implemented in 2005-2006 and adopted a landlord model of port management. The key principle of this concession model is to transfer cargo operational obligations to private operators while retaining public ownership of the port infrastructure. Lagos, southwest Nigeria, the commercial capital of the country and second busiest city in Africa, hosts two ports. But this week, let's talk about the Tincan Island Port, located northwest of Lagos Port Complex. built in the mid-70s in response to an increase in economic activities during the oil boom, coupled with post-Civil War reconstruction, rehabilitation, and reintegration efforts by the then military government. TCIP has 5 terminal operators and 30 private jetties. Terminal A is being operated by Joseph Dam Port Services, the handle BOC. Terminal B, managed by TICT Container Limited, handles containers. Terminal C, Port and Cargo Handling Services, multi-purpose. Terminal D, 5 Stars Logistics. And Terminal E, Port and Terminal Multi-Service Limited, multi-purpose. The port's distance from Fairway Buoy is 54 nautical miles, KLT 5.9 nautical miles, with turning basin of 400 meters, container handling capacity 3.8 million TEU, access channel depth is 13.5 meters, berths 13, operates on security level 1, average turnaround time 4 days, berth occupancy rate is 43.92%, and total number of buoys is 32. TCIP Global Ship statistical data is ship traffic 1,307, container traffic 443,830, and cargo throughput 15,464,385.
What makes it unique? First of all, I will say that in Nigeria, Tincan Island Port is a port where you will say there is no form of operation that does not take place in terms of cargo handling. So it has that basic advantage because we have Ro-Ro terminals. We have 2 Ro-Ro terminals here, and we have container terminals, and also we have a bulk terminal. Now, these give Tincan Island Port that edge, and being a modern one that was built in the late 70s. You see, it was built with the changes that took place then. And Tincan Island Port now come up with 4 terminals as a result of concession. We have Terminal A that is under the services of Joseph Dam Port Services. We have the Terminal D, which is handled by Tincan Island Container Terminal, which is, by the name, is entirely a container terminal. We have Terminal C, which is for port and cargo handling services, and it handles both general cargo and containers. Then we have the 5-Star Logistics. 5-Star Logistics took completely where we call the then Ro-Ro Port. Tincan Island Port, what makes it unique, it has the most recent and modern terminal, which came on board during the port concessioning. And that terminal is on BOT because it is a terminal built on a greenfield, fresh by a private operator on a BOT, and specifically for the Ro-Ro activities. When you look at this, it has that added advantage over others. Again, we have private jetties where basically they handle petroleum products. In Nigeria, when you look at it, because we have about 30 of such jetties that are functional. When you look at consumption of petroleum products in Nigeria, you know, it's mostly concentrated in the Lagos area, besides the other ones that are moved to the hinterland. So with this one now, when it comes to issue of cargo handling, vessels that come to port, we have large volume of cargo that comes to Tincan Island Port, and by implication, you know that the Nigerian Port Authority is the gateway to Nigerian economy. And in that respect, what does it translate? It means we generate high revenue for the country by Nigerian Port Authority. Well, this one will take it to the general landmark about the issue of ease of doing business. Most of us know that prior to the executive order in 2017 early, the ranking of Nigerian ports or the Nigeria itself in the world was nothing to talk about. But with the introduction of the ease of doing business, where all the government agencies in the port are supposed to come and work under one single platform, so that the importer or the consignee does not have to be going from one agency to another to treat its documents. It improved on the port efficiency, it improved on the business, because the customers themselves started getting the best of the service. Nigerian Ports Authority being the leading agency in spearheading, ensuring that all the agencies come under a platform to work. The key thing is efficiency. If you look at it, the port operations is 24/7, and the Nigerian government has a target of 48 hours to clear cargo. Now, when vessels come to the port, we have some agencies that will go and clear that vessel before it can start discharge. If it takes long time, because each agency has to go on its own to board the vessel, that time that the vessel stays waiting to start discharge is taking a toll on the efficiency of the port. But with the ease of doing business, all of them have to come together, board the vessel, do the functions that concerns their own agency, the Nigerian Immigration Service, the Port Health, the Nigeria Customs. Those that have the mandate to board the vessel, they will go and do it, and within a short time, because the target is it should not take more than 1 hour to clear a vessel to do its operation. And that one, when we look at the waiting time of vessels, the turnaround time of vessels, it has improved tremendously. All this happened because of the changes that have taken place. Orientation of the workers itself has improved, because we all now understood that the customer is key. And if there is no customer satisfaction, then it means we are not doing well. A port is supposed to be a transit area. When a vessel comes in, berths and discharge the cargo is not to stay long in the port. And the challenge we have now is, when you talk of Tincan Island, the first thing that will come to people's mind is the traffic gridlock.
The first challenge is, of course, access and exit to and from the port, which is a great challenge, which on the other side they try now to overcome with getting more barges. The barge system was actually implemented in order to make sure that the lorries are not staying there outside for 5-6 days to come into the port or going out. And this is a good sign that there's a development, provided everybody who is involved. That means customs must be flexible in their regulations to allow loading, discharging of containers from or to the berth on time. As responsible terminal operator, I am responsible for what I'm receiving and what I'm sending out. And therefore, because we are responsible towards customs and other authorities, of course it is our first aim to see that nothing goes out without having proper documents.
When we started in 2006, the road was very smooth, and there was no point of anybody disturbing any trailer on the way before it reaches Apapa and deliver and discharge its containers or loading. But now you can see everywhere is full of trailers and trucks carrying containers.
Ports are the entry point of the country's economy, and we've got to get these goods moved within the country, and it all takes haulage. And unfortunately, with the congestion that we're experiencing in the town of Apapa, it does have an effect on how you grow your business and how much more goods you want to bring into the country. And then, of course, we've got the other issue with MPA bringing on a new policy with regards to our bus out, what they want us to do now. So, which we don't mind. We like the idea of bus in, bus out. The staff enjoy the facility of being able to get in on a bus. Our problem is it takes the bus so long to get out because of the congestion of the port that the staff would rather walk, and of course that goes against the MPA policy. So my view is, if MPA want to put in these policies that we actually agree with, They need to look at how the policy is actually going to work. What restrictions are actually going to stop these policies working. With regards to the bus in, bus out, that's all well and good. You're reducing the amount of vehicle traffic coming in and you're reducing the amount of people coming in by foot. But nobody wants to sit in a bus for an hour trying to get out of a port when they can walk it in 15 minutes. So I think the congestion issue with the port and maybe the roads should be sort of like resolved first before they start putting other policies in to help with the reduction of vehicle traffic coming in.
Which resulted from a long neglect of the road by previous government, and it affected the port operation because when trucks are outside, they have blocked the road. The cargo inside the port cannot exit. Now, this is a great challenge. But when the government now embark on the rehabilitation of the road, the work that has started easing the work. Mr. President has to set up a presidential task force that was given the mandate to evacuate all trucks that littered the roads leading to the port. This has helped tremendously, but we are still having such challenge because the trucks are still on the road. They have been removed from the back, but around the port, they are still there. A transit truck park that has been opened is there. It helped. Another thing that adds to the challenge is most of the liners holding bays are full to capacity, and when the drivers are coming back, instead of them to take the empty trucks back to those holding bays before they will come here, what they understand is the port. So you see, this is a challenge because a good number of them that come that way, it means our security along with the police have to find a way of turning them back. But because of the blockage, it makes it difficult even to turn those ones back. So if you add these things, you see that it is a serious challenge to port operation, and invariably it affects the port efficiency.
The Nigerian Port Authority also, through our able managing director, has come up with plans to set up tow parks outside Lagos, one at Shagamu. By the time that is achieved, it will reduce the gridlock a lot.
Now, we have other challenge that has to do with security.
Presently, Tincan Island is operating on security level 1. We have our men deployed to the gate with the backing of the port police. We have the dog handler also deployed to the gate. We have the bomb squad that are also there to assist us in checking people that are carrying baggages into the port. All human beings coming into the port need to be checked. We have given them port entry pass, and this is what we check. Whoever that does not have the port entry permit will not be allowed into the port. Due to the nature of cargo we handle in the ports, we have so many human beings. Because of the roll-on and the roll-off vehicles that come in, it attracts so many people, and we need to check incursion of people into the port to ensure that people with legitimate business are only the ones that are allowed in. We also check entrance of people from the sea. We have the command and control center that is linked with the port CCTV. We also check entrance of people into the port through the waterfront. Security here is very, very tight.
I look at the relationship with the terminal operators, I would say is very conducive. What we do as the landlord and the regulator, we listen to both parties in terms of where they have issues, and we always come around to resolve them by engaging them. And we always try to give them the service. Shipping companies, when they want to bring their vessels, our pilots are always available 24/7 to provide such a service.
Tincan Island Port is in Lagos Piloted District. In Lagos Piloted District, we have two ports, Apapa Port and Tincan Island Port. My work in Tincan Island Port is basically in charge of pilotage and towage services. In Tincan Island Port, we have a quay length of 2,999 meters. This quay length is divided into 12 berths, and these 12 berths are concession among 5 terminal operators. These berths are at the average of 12 to 13.5 meters in depth. Tincan Island Port is a very busy port. The port is a very viable port.
The port is very peaceful. People do their business despite the tension, because with the trucks congesting the port, you can understand, because the truckers, when they come there, they are stuck. They start getting agitated. If there is any terminal that is supposed to receive trucks, we also go and find out, are they ready normally, because it is done on a call-up system in order to manage the port operation. And most of the illegal trucks that try to come in, this is how we send them away, because you must have received your call-up. And where there is any misunderstanding, we always call the stakeholders together, hold joint meetings to iron out the areas of differences. And you must have heard from 2017, the executive management introduced a quarterly stakeholders meeting, where besides the engagements we do at the port level, our management meet with these key stakeholders at each port on quarterly basis to review current issues, and the ones that require the intervention of the headquarters, they explain to them what they have done, what action they have taken. And most of these things, I can tell you, has improved the services in the port. Tincan Island here, the effort on the rehabilitation of the road was key in terms of intervention of the managing director, Ms. Ajia Adiza Bala Usman. Because if the road is not motorable, definitely it affects the port operation. So in terms of the personnel human capacity building, they look at specific training that will improve both the attitude and the skills of these workers, for which, as I'm here, I benefited so much on that. And in terms of, they also look at what they can do to improve the performance, as I said, of the staff. For instance, I won 2 awards as port manager, Rivers Port. I was given a merit award for efficiency, accountability, and prudence while in Rivers Port for the 2017 Long Service Award. You see, this Long Service Award that was almost abandoned for some time, this management has now made it an annual thing that was supposed to be. The 2018 Long Service Award was also done, and as I assumed duty here in Tincan, and when the award was done, I won another merit award as the best port manager for 2018. How coming to Nigerian Port Authority has actually raised the status of the Nigerian Ports Authority. And as you know, she is the current vice president of the International Ports and Harbors Association. She's also the vice president Africa for the IMO. One key I want to tell you about our MD, Ajia Adiza Bala Usman, because she always wants the best. She wants excellence. Nigerian Ports Authority is undergoing process of certification by the ISO. All this is to put us to that standard so that we are amongst the best in the world. As you know, Nigerian Ports Authority vision has been to be the leading port in Africa. Now, if you do not put all this basic infrastructure in place, you cannot talk of achieving that. And that is what she's doing. And you see, you look at our billing system that is fully online now because it is fully automated.
We raise our bills using the revenue invoicing and management system, which is operational in all ports in Nigerian Port Authority now. That involves an agent uploading his manifest directly from his office. While on the platform it will appear, we will raise the bill, tariff billing, and the bill is audited. Customer can monitor his bills from his office and print a copy without coming to the port. By so doing, with the fully computerization that we have and constant power supply in Tincan Island Port, it has enhanced our accountability as well as our reporting system, because all bills that are raised are fully in the system and is monitored right from headquarters.
With that, it means your vessel is good to come in. So when you look at all this improvement in terms of the system that is put in place by the management led by our able MD, Adiza Bala Usman, you will say that really Nigerian Ports Authority is moving towards becoming the leading port in Africa. I want to be remembered that during my presence, the port is one of the cleanest ports in Nigeria, if not in Africa. The issue of traffic, put a good traffic management system. I also will want to be remembered that in terms of debts, we don't have debts that grow up. I will be so happy to be remembered as someone that come to Tincan Island Port and they change the attitude of the workers to them understanding that our customer is key and we have to provide service that will satisfy them.
That's much we could bring to you in today's episode. Well, as you agree with me that it's been quite an insightful journey with the port manager, Mr. Abubakar Umar, and the terminal operators. Don't forget to visit our website on www.nigerianport.gov.ng and also join us on our Facebook, Twitter, and IG. Let's get more interactive and also watch all our previous episodes of our YouTube channel. Until I come your way again, same station, same time, don't forget that the Nigerian Port Authority is committed to operational efficiency and customer-friendly service and the gateway to our nation's economy. Bye.